my live stream. And if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to the video. I have something I need to get off my chest, and I figured Red Dead is a game to play while I do that, because it involves Red Dead. So, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it's 2019, I met who I would initially extensively play Red Dead with, and that was the Dirty Dans. And we played this game almost every day. Played Showdown series, Takedown series. We play free roam missions together. You name it, we played this game. You know, we were like a family. And that same year that I met the Dirty Dans, I met them around March, April 2019. November rolled around, and my mom had died that month. And the Dirty Dans, I turned to for support during my grief. There's one friend I had in particular and since I'm only going by first name basis here, his name was Andy. Now, during the holidays after my mom died, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to play video games. Did I want to play video games with people, or did I want to just keep to myself? I don't know. I mean, But New Year's Eve of 2020 came around, and yeah, I know my mom wasn't around to celebrate with, so I hopped on Xbox, hopped in a party with my friend Andy, and I think that moment I realized, I needed my friends, but more so I felt that I needed Andy. And over the next few months of 2020, I would play quite a bit with Andy. We'd play Minecraft together, we'd play all sorts of games. The Division 2, played some Halo, play Payday 2. I don't know, we just played a large assortment of games within the time span of like 6 months. And I think it really helped. Uh, I think it really helped my grief having a really close friend like that, a consistent friend like that, who was there when my mom had died. I mean, there on Xbox. Now I had. Thing is, our friendship ended, and it, I think that's largely because I scared him away. Being in, being that my mom had died, so it hadn't yet been a year, and I was still grieving 6, 7, 8 months after my mom had died, and thinking that I needed Andy, I scared him away. Whether or not I think part of me, whether or not I grew to love him as a really close friend, or whether or not I felt like I somehow had feelings for him, I don't know. I mean, but it ruined our friendship, and I was desperate to have him back, which only made things worse. And you know, all I can say is that I'm sorry for what happened. I wish things had turned out differently. You know, part of me wishes that Andy and the rest of my friends had been a little more patient with me and forgiving of me during my grief. It's not to say that it's not to excuse my own actions, but Red Dead will always have a place in my heart because of the fact that if it weren't for Red Dead, I would not have met the Dirty Dans. I would not have met Andy. I would not have met the friends I have now if it wasn't for Red Dead. So I guess regardless of the ups and downs, You know, Red Dead is still a game that has a way of bringing people together and also has a way of splitting people apart. Kind of like the story in the Vanderland game.
I'm getting quite used to having you around.
I guess keep this short, you know. Grief can affect you in different ways, and I guess at the time that I was grieving, of all the friends and my friends in their dirty dance, you know, I felt as though I related to Andy the most. I felt as though I needed him more than anyone else. I'm not saying that was not saying that was correct or not, you know. But that's just the way I felt. And all 4 years later, and truth is now and then I still think of Andy. And reminisce of the times and the memories we made together. Wish things could have been different. All I can say is that I'm sorry.